Club culture is dying because of you. Because of you. It's because of you. Is this bitch in the coffin? Why is she in the coffin? Why are niggas carrying her?
The girls were getting down, the hair was sweating out, the edges not laid, but it didn't matter.
I never understood the cuz, bro. Cameron.
Hey guys, it's your girl Cameron, and I'm back
She cute.
at it again with another video. And
I feel like she don't need the makeup. I feel like her skin like good without that shit.
today we are going to be talking about the death of club culture. It's dying, guys, plummeting. POV. It's a Saturday night, you and your friends are ready to go out, let loose, have a night out on the town, and you guys decide to hit up your local hottest club. Hottest in quotation marks. You walk in and either 70% of the people are standing with their backs against the wall.
That's every time though.
Girls seemingly focused on taking pictures, and you have
and twerking on their friends.
Guys ordering bottles,
mean mugging,
standing in the corner looking like Joe from You. Welcome to 2024. Clubs in 2024 almost always host this environment. And it's becoming a concern for youth. 20-year-olds coming out in droves saying that they don't want to go to the club.
Y'all really want to make clubs look like furniture store because of the bottle wars?
More. They have no desire to go to the club.
90s where the promoters wanted to strip club margins, dances, bottle service, and hookah. I thought you could smell my girl. If I could smell my girl's relaxer by the end of magic, we had a party hard enough. What?
Club because it's boring. For those who want to go out with self-expression, have a great time, and leave their cares at the door. Clubs are not facilitating this place of joy. Clubs are facilitating a place of judgment.
Hell yeah.
Sections, bottle culture.
Baller alert.
Terrible DJs and no dancing. Club culture is not what it
like girls are not dancing on niggas. They're dancing on each other or they're just taking pictures.
Used to be comparative to what we believed it was growing up. So we're going to dive into this today. Like, comment down below. Do you personally think that club culture is dying? Hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more commentary content just like this video. And for my music lovers, please go click the link in my description to my Patreon. I'm starting a Patreon where I host my exclusive series, recommended releases that you on Patreon if you want to see anticipated album Dopamine. So check that out. And I appreciate you guys for joining me over here today. So we're just gonna get straight into the commentary. So I know how
many followers this bitch got? I mean female. She got 61,000. Okay.
I have some homebodies watching this like, girl, who cares about the club? Well, to set the stage, I want to talk about the appeal of clubbing, right? Is the idea of people coming together in a group, being in a shared space and enjoying.
Not all the time the club is bad. I feel like you gotta be certain times, certain things, certain places are fine.
Infectious music, moving. I feel like dancing is one of the most freeing and liberating things you can do. And we'll talk about it later, but there's social contexts that made clubs and certain types of clubs so important for social groups. You know, a lot of us spill into clubs to forget about our problems and dance our troubles away. But the club isn't always the answer, guys. It's not always the answer. And it's important that you have someone to talk about your mental health issues, struggles, and events going on in your life and work through them. Well, I would like to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Someone like me, I've always perceived myself to be very good at feeling my emotions as a very sensitive soul. I always thought I have it on lock, but the older I've been getting and becoming an adult with all the changes, you realize certain things that you never knew existed or impacted you. And some deeper issues that I even face with things like self-esteem. Growing up dancing my entire life, I realized how critical I am of myself and the lasting effects that the rigorous training and appearance expectations and comparisons has taken on my mental health. And I've carried a lot of that into my adulthood. And also
Quick note: if you see like ballerinas' toes, they're fucked up because of all the shit they be doing. Like they stepping on their toes and shit. They're horrible.
Someone who works multiple jobs, I'm a hustler. It's been very hard to keep
Get
up
to the
with my
bag.
schedule, and it becomes almost too hard to bear mentally trying to extend myself. It has made me realize that I do need to talk to someone to release these feelings and work through them healthily, not always going.
You ain't always gotta do that. I feel like if you just express that shit to yourself, you straight. You can, but I feel like most people won't understand for real, for real.
To the club and going out and having a time, because your problems are still going to exist when you wake up in the morning. And this is where a platform like BetterHelp has pulled through for me. Well, BetterHelp is here to help you, and it connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful advice. First, you go to their website.
Oh God, I could
use
be a
my link,
therapist.
betterhelp.com/Cameron Suzanne. Use that, and you answer a few questions on your phone or your computer. Feel most comfortable to do, and I think due to a therapist.com/count on your phone. Right back into to get to the root of what we're talking about. So we're going to start off with a brief history of clubbing and its importance and staple in social settings and community. The origins of the modern nightclub have roots in the 19th and 20th century, and back in the day, live bands with roots in ballroom and
Niggas was getting jiggy back then. They were all there. Look at bro. Bro's a demon. Look at bro. Bro's a demon.
dance hall. And there was yet another evolution of nightlife in the 30s and 40s, post-prohibition and post-war. You can imagine after the prohibition was lifted, everybody's
Drinking.
everybody's out, right? Especially the youth. And we really did see a boom in party culture, especially with the advent of disco. We're gonna live here a lot in this video.
Nigga, we ain't have disco in our day, bro. Niggas was getting.
Disco culture found a mainstay in the 70s and was vital in being expressive and for people to find their place. The sheer just infectiousness, the happiness, the upbeat, the liveliness that we often look back.
See, everybody was loose back then.
When we see the 70s. And then you have different cities, right, popularizing music and also popularizing clubs to host these kinds of music. They all had their own little different nuances and experiences. Quote, hyper-industrialized urban landscapes like Chicago and Detroit, whoop whoop, pioneered house and techno music in the 1980s, right? This further encouraged dance spaces, filling with movement, community, drugs, youth, and letting loose.
She doing the Tina.
And the music would just change dependent upon the setting. And in the late 90s, electronic music had a mainstream push and achieved the status of commercialization, which you would often see spill into the clubs, the music that the DJs were playing. And then in the early 2000s, up until about now, the number of nightclubs have been on a pretty steep decline. But club culture, I would say in the early 2000s, was still defined by movement, dancing, and being together in community. People had cell phones, but pre-iPhone. And with the intro of
I feel like nowadays niggas just be on Instagram, Snapchat, just like, I'm at that bit, y'all.
phones being readily available and often used, as well as social media, the concern of how the club looked versus how it felt was very noticeable. This idea of going out and wanting to step out to be seen or to show that you're out, but really being out and not fully enjoying yourself and immersing yourself in the moment. So let's dive into how pop culture encouraged movement. I just even think of videos that were going viral of people dancing to, I believe, a Michael Jackson song in the 80s. It was a house party and everybody, like, people were dripping in sweat, y'all. Like,
hell nah, bro. Nowadays niggas is not doing that.
like, people were getting down. People were having fun. Men and women alike. Like, men were not afraid of looking, quote, feminine. People were dancing, men and women dancing together.
That's niggas is off crack. Niggas is off that cocaine though. Niggas is off that Quaaludes.
People dancing together. The girls were getting down. The hair was sweating.
Mirror on the wall. Before they party, edges on fleek. After the party, they're gone.
Out the edges, not laid, but it didn't matter. Immersed in the music, and in this video, you can clearly see that energy, which is missing today. And I even think about how dancing was embedded in Black American life and culture, which would translate to popular media, popular culture, and would usher in the wave of casual dancers who would fill the club with dance moves that they learned on Soul Train the night before. Soul Train, huge deal, wasn't there. wasn't there. But from what my mom told me and my dad and my extended family, Soul Train was that place that you looked to learn moves. You would see crazy moves, you would see innovative moves, and you would go to the club and people would be really aspiring to create that energy. Right? Think of like a Soul Train line. And I think disco's prominent impact on clubbing and club culture is notable. Like, you can't talk about clubbing without talking about the disco. And disco music was literally dance music. Like, how do you listen to a disco song and not move? Emerging from the urban nightlife scene with sound influences that were syncopated with electric pianos, synthesizers, and electric rhythm guitars. The goal of disco, it was like this trance-like state. You were present. You wanted to move.
But like, I ain't gonna lie, like during the 70s, niggas were taking a lot more drugs. So like nowadays, niggas like psychedelics and shit. So like, feel good drugs. Niggas still doing that now, I feel like, but it just introduced. Nowadays, niggas are used to it. They're not really like, I don't know. They're not that long.
Move. You felt like it was a vibe. And disco also really took heat again, putting in this social aspect, because disco was almost a counterculture to the 60s with the stigma towards dance music at that time. So people went to the disco and said, I'm about to live my best life and I don't give a damn, almost as a statement. Transition of disco to hip hop. If you've ever seen the Get Down, I think they do an awesome job at explaining this shift that was happening between disco and hip hop. You would have these record jockeys, these DJs that would test out records in the club to see if people were going to move and dance to the song.
How about the DJ? I don't speak English. You're gonna come back every Thursday night? I speak Hebrew. You like it here?
I speak Hebrew.
How do you like the music? It's great. How about you? You're gonna come back from now on?
Replay poker. As many of you have seen, because I've streamed it before,
if people were not feeling it, if these couple gatekeepers were not feeling it, you weren't gonna make it, period. And you play it in a social setting to see if people respond, if people are moving. And I don't know if a lot of people do that. And if they do, it's in like a very narrow lens. Like, okay, I'm gonna go to the strip club, I'm gonna play this, whatever. But I do know recently with Kehlani's song After Hours, she did use the club method to test out her After Hours song. I think she said she went to like a Puerto Rican or Dominican club in New York. And she said that she got the stamp of approval.
Did you give it to the DJ? Did you give him a digital dub plate?
Oh, we did that at the club in the Bronx in New York at a Dominican club, and the Dominicans lost their mind. It was hookah and tequila and Dominicans screaming the song.
She released it with the intention of getting people to get up, move, and dance. And it really did work. So when we go back to the times,
I ain't gonna lie, my like celebrity crush is Kehlani.
of like the 70s
First tattoo
and the
bitch I saw, like, she look fire.
where people were passing records and really trying to get their music played. They're playing in the clubs. You're testing out the song to see how people are reacting. Are they dancing? Are their backs against the wall? Is the song hot or not? And that's how a lot of the times it would be determined. I just wanted to do a brief overview of how clubbing shaped our perceptions of clubs, right? From what we saw in movies to what we have heard to 20-year-olds now who are going to the clubs and are like, it's not that. Well, there's a lot of reasons for that, and I want to get into the issue with clubbing
Social media.
now. So, one of the main things that I've noticed is there's hardly proper dance floors due to the invasion of sections. Section culture, right? You pay a good chunk of money to be separate from other club goers, away from the crowd, and you usually get a dedicated server, usually seats, and the privilege to look like and say that you're in the VIP section / you can afford it. It's a flex. People.
I got a session before, bro. That shit not what you think it is, bro. That shit not what you think it is, bro.
Like to be in sections because these clubs get packed.
Imagine you pay a certain amount of money, you split it up with like 10 niggas. I got to the club late because of some unforeseen circumstances, right? Other bitches, other niggas are in my section. I'm like, bro, who are you niggas? You ain't pay for this shit. Who are you? Security over there. You can smoke in the section. You can drink with your section. You do all that good shit. It's just like you just in one corner by yourself. It's just like, all right, bro.
And it also encourages like that sit back, laid back, I'm the man kind of vibe. You have men summoning over girls to their section, especially like these celebrity men. It's serious to be invited to the section. Y'all saw that video where that girl was like,
Being mindful.
literally, like some girls are like, okay, if I get invited to a section, especially by an affluent man, you need to be keeping it cute. Don't let too loose, right? There's manners. But I'm like, we in a club. Like, I came here to have fun. I'm not gonna be sitting on my ass because I'm in somebody's section and I need to look like and remember why I was invited to the damn section.
Okay.
But there's a lot of like these politics going on within the club where people feel like they have to act a certain way or maneuver a certain way to be taken seriously. And even we can talk about bottle service. Bottle culture changed a lot. I don't know if y'all saw the video of, I think it was a Bottle Wars. I think it was in Houston.
Yeah, that shit was stupid, bro. Niggas is pouring out expensive liquor. These bottles, like you get like a big bottle of like Don Julio, right? It's about $50-$60, right? In the club, they charging you $200-$300, bro. And niggas be pouring it out, bro. Like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
And there was this video of men buying bottles and pouring them out.
Why?
Like as a contest. I don't know if it was just to prove who has the most money. Because I would have been like, I'll take some.
Clase Azul Reposado. See, $4.59, $4.49.
But everyone was just standing there. I was like, is this
And liquor bar delivery.
normal? Like, is this just fun and games? Because
These two $500 bottles.
it was ridiculous. Are we really going to clubs to buy bottles and pour them out to prove something? I must be in a twilight zone.
Okay, so look, I'm in Miami. I'm at Live. We just ordered it's just 3 or 4 of us. Let me just get 2 bottles. And then dude behind me got a bunch of girls. He orders 8.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Just one bottle.
Anywhere from $450 to $1,000. So
Bruh.
$8,000 go this way. So you know me. He look at me like, yeah, get your game up. Let me get 10 bottles. He ordered 8 more. Give me 20
Damn.
bottles. I looking now. So while the 20s coming here, one breaks off and go to him. I spend $50,000. Whatever I was thinking, it didn't work. I didn't get no ladies, nothing. Just wet with minus 50 on the tab.
I don't want to hide from them anymore. What do we do?
Are we not men?
The club owner that night. Bro. I gotta buy a club, bro. I gotta get a club, bro.
With sections and for bottle service, you can expect to pay anywhere on
I
average.
want a hookah bar. I want to invest in a hookah bar, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Average from $300 to $1,000 for a standard bottle service package. And in major cities, popular clubs, you can be paying thousands to get a section and have to reserve them months and months and months ahead. So for example, I did do some research on a popular club called Live to see roughly how much a section costs. So you guys can get an idea of
It's probably like 20,000.
what people are paying to go to a club and sit there and be served. A club. Y'all, not a restaurant, a club. So, Live table costs by section. Let's go. A dining room table, 8 guests, $1,000 to $1,500.
Oh my. Oh, it's not that bad. It's about the same like what I thought it was, like at Orlando.
A balcony table, $1,500 to $2,000.
Sheesh.
Backstage table, $2,000 to $2,500. Main floor table, $2,000 to $2,500. Main floor table large, $4,000. Skybox, $4,000.
God damn.
And the
That's just for the night, bro.
largest package you can get. Most expensive is front stage table, $5,000 to $6,000. Actually insane. And people are paying this. I mean, these are some of the hottest clubs. Granted, when you do get a group, right, you can split, you can do whatever, but
Finesse.
like, I know for me, when I'm going to the club, I'm going there to dance and let loose. I'm not necessarily going there just to like sit in a section. That's just not like my vibe. If I'm gonna go to a club, I'll just go to a restaurant. So
Yeah.
as you can see, with the complexities of sections, I feel like VIP sections have always existed to some capacity, but the way that they overtake the dance floor, the way that they overtake the space of clubs is actually ridiculous. So this is the diagram of the layout for Live. And do you guys see the ridiculous amount of space that does not exist for the dance floor? That's insane. The fact that clubs are not prioritizing
It's just sections.
spaces for dance floor definitely means we lost the plot. to where there's hardly even a dance floor anymore. Because obviously clubs want to make profit. Bottles
Sheesh.
means profit. Already just paying for a section means profit. Bottle girls get really great tips. And sometimes this leaves
3,000, goddamn.
very little room for a dance floor. Or you have the issue of people standing shoulder to shoulder with nowhere to move, fighting for space. There's no space. So when this happens, there's little to no room to talk, interact, and let alone dance. Please. Or people then start buying sections to avoid the little space that they would usually have. Again, facilitating this section culture. Like, you got people that are like, if I don't have a section, I'm not going to the club. I don't want to deal with the stress of not having room to move, standing in line forever for drinks. Dance is never at the focus. Letting loose is hardly ever at the focus. It's just standing, looking cute, maybe
looking cool, taking Instagram pictures. Like, I'm at the club, I'm living it up. Like, niggas ain't really living it up. It's just like, bro, this shit like, it's not what you think.
getting a little lit, and that's about it. It's like people in sessions be looking over everybody like God. Like, okay.
Oh God, like. But as soon as the club in at 2, you regular.
Calm down a little bit. Something that totally to me ruined club culture. Like mentioned before, people are more concerned with looking like they're having fun than actually having fun.
Facts.
Because of their phones. Phones. People are concerned to posting to Instagram stories, which is cool. But for some people,
every once in a while,
that is their focus, right? It's a photo shoot in the club. Put on your heels, put on your dress, pictures, and I'ma sit. Like, that's it. And then you have another crowd who has social anxiety because they're worried they're going to be posted on TikTok and humiliated by wall huggers. Y'all are so judgmental in the club, and it's actually annoying. And there's even some clubs that have a no photo, no videotaping policy. And then you even have people who
that should be enforced for real.
Don't give a fuck, and they're like, okay, I'm enjoying myself unapologetically, owning they're free without concern. And then others around them, their friends are lit, we're having fun. They still get clowned. Like, I don't know if y'all saw, but Beyonce's dance captain was out at the club. She had her dress in like some Jordans or something, like some gym shoes, and she went viral. And someone said like she was dancing like she's scaring the hoes, and this exemplified exactly why people
but like, she killing that shit though.
Go to public spaces like a club uptight,
hey.
And they don't dance because they're afraid of the fear of judgment.
She going crazy.
Who want to genuinely have fun, but it's like, okay, whose story am I going to end up on? And even worse, somebody might post me on TikTok and I go viral for like being lit. Yes, Beyonce's dancer, her video was hilarious. She was kind of hitting that shit.
I'm good.
But in the context, like if you watch the video silent, it's a little cringe, but like not enough to me to make it news. Like for people to be like, oh my fucking gosh, like she's so embarrassing. This is horrible. She was kind of hitting it. People aren't used to seeing people dance in the clubs anymore.
We're
so it's like
actually dancing dance circles and
why
shit.
Why are you moving like that? Why are you dancing? Why are you breaking it down? Because that's what I came to do. Like, I don't understand. And the last point I want to touch on today as to why club culture is so horrible now is the music issue. Pop Culture Channel, y'all, you know we got to talk about music. There's hardly any slow songs played at the club, right? You know how everybody talks about there's like no meaningful connections anymore, like in the club, like guys are just sleazes. It just feels really objectifying. Well, DJs don't facilitate that space either because a lot of clubs don't play slow songs. There's not like
niggas not doing slow songs.
Hey, do you want to dance? Hey, you know, can we slow it down and talk for a minute? There's none of that. Or most clubs now, you know, hip hop is technically the most popular genre. Most clubs will play trap because that's like the default. And you're not busting on 1-2 to most trap music. You're not.
Facts.
I mean, I can if I'm lit enough, but you're not. Like So it seems like DJ's goal is like not to play dance songs, even if it's pop. We're vibing to trap for 4 hours, or we're getting generic pop hits from 2016. Variety is lacking in the music selection in club. There's a club like slash bar that I like to go to a lot, or I did, and this DJ specifically would not take requests. And he would start his sets by saying, no recommendations. Don't come up to the booth. He said, quote, for my white girls, don't ask me to play Taylor Swift. And for my black girls, don't ask me to play Sexy Red.
Damn.
That was his statement verbatim. And it's like, he really thinks that music listeners' demographics are that simple. And like that's all we want to hear, which to me is a very simple and non-diverse way of thinking of
Play
music,
some Bad
especially as a
Bunny.
DJ in 2024. When music listeners now are more likely to have expanded their music palette. Some DJs, like I said before, are losing their sense of diversity when it comes to the club and what's hot and what's not, or the general perception of their audience. I think TikTok and the quick trends really influence DJs' choices, just like everything else. A lot of DJs have the perception that it's easier because let me just use some trending sounds. Like everyone likes that, right?
No.
But it's different like listening to something on TikTok versus something you actually want to move to in the club. And there's a difference between the two. I mean, previously a DJ was someone who seeked new music, right? That was a mission to bring to the masses, a gatekeeper of sorts. And I don't know if it's because DJs are also afraid of like being booed again. Also this idea of being posted / humiliated online. Maybe some of these DJs don't really have an ear for music. I don't know if you guys have noticed the pipeline from Instagram model to DJ, but it's like kind of, it's become very
Like these hoes don't know music.
frequent, which is very interesting. Does anybody know why that is? Or some of these DJs just don't have a passion for discovery, right? So it turns into this vicious cycle of DJs playing generic, uninspired, redundant music due to laziness and fear of rejection. That's what's irritating about people stepping more into creative spaces now without having passion. Because yeah, like the crowd can be a tough critic, but you don't get in the business of DJing or making music on a visible level or putting yourself in front of a camera like I am without accepting the challenge of being judged and widely critiqued, and sometimes publicly failing.
Facts. Being on the camera hard, man. Not everybody can just go on this bitch and just be themselves and be like regular and shit. Give their opinion without overthinking or like just thinking about what you look like and stuff like that. You gotta be real comfortable. Not everybody can just get in front of this shit. And if you can, you fine. You have a little personality with it, you straight.
So if some of you DJs who are facilitating these clubs, you're nervous and you don't want to rock the boat too much because you're afraid you'll fail, you're not in the right business. Because the music is the heartbeat to me of a club. And I think the music is failing miserably. Half the time I don't want to go to a club is because the music is horrible. I want to leave immediately.
I just don't fuck with the club vibe for real. That shit like.
My eyes twitching. Like it irritates me because I love to dance. I love to go out. I love to have fun. But it's just not anymore. And lastly, alcohol consumption is going down in youth.
Alcohol fine sometimes, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I threw up like 2 days ago, bro. Mixing light and dark, bro. Don't mix light and dark liquor, bro.
Right? You have more people drinking non-alcoholic beverages, more companies making more non-alcoholic beverages, people and younger folks participating in things like Dry January and it becoming marketed. So now you got more and more people going to the club
sober,
damn near sober, or not drinking as much as they used to because it's not healthy and it's not as fun. So now it just exacerbates all of the issues we see, and you have more social anxiety, you're more aware. So I really think a lot of these factors are affecting clubbing and like why club culture is dying, why people don't want to go to clubs anymore, and why they might not be around in the same capacity as they used to. We just gonna be what? Shaking our hips? Do.
The TikTok fucking hip shakers? Out of your mind.
Somebody had a tweet where they were like, hey girl, like, I saw your man in the club. And she was like, dancing with another girl? She said no, shaking his hips. You know that like dance that do.
This shit Uzi did.
Do. I said, oh my gosh, like, not the shaking the hips. At least they're dancing though. But it's just time again. You look up, you look around, you see videos at the club. I think there was a video of Drake in Houston like a week or two ago. They were just sitting there. Like no one was doing anything. No one was hype. He was probably afraid they were going to play They Not Like Us, They Not Like Us, They Not Like Us, Song of the Summer. But the vibes were just not vibing. So let me know what you guys think of clubbing culture. Have you noticed this? Let's talk about it. Let's chat.
Good video. She cute. Y'all boys like this video, man.